So next up is the DNA Data Storage Alliance community. Dave Landsman, hello.
Good. So let's jump to the slide. So the DNA Data Storage Alliance, our mission and scope we've had a slight change this year. So all the text in white is consistent. It's the same as it's been. We're trying to create an interoperable ecosystem around DNA as a data storage medium. We're starting to also bring in compute topics. We're not changing our name or anything because we have some branding recognition, but we're beginning to focus on compute topics, molecular compute. As far as members, we're about 40. We hover around 40 members. Sometimes it floats up, sometimes it floats down. I haven't fully updated this scatter chart here, but the the companies at the top, the six companies are the board, and then we've started with the new model. There's a few that have dropped off here, not even before the new model, but we got and a few that have joined. And then we got three or four from the new model, like Samsung and Kioxia have joined, and one other that's slipping my mind right now. So it was nice to see some of the core SNIA members begin to sign up. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So in 2024, our main standards. We had two kind of significant standards or publishing um, milestones. We published the 1.0 version of the DNA stability evaluation method. Um, this is and then this is a way to compare DNA containment systems. And then we wrote the chapter in the IEEE mass storage roadmap update, um, which got published as part of the IEEE mass storage update. And these links, is there a question? Okay. And then we did a bunch of presenting. I won't go through all of these, but we were at FMS, SDC, Storage Technology Showcase. I'll get the links updated. Kind of an interesting one was the Library of Congress Designing Storage Architectures Forum. They saw our presentation on the data stability method at STC in 2023, and they asked us to present at 2024 in their 2024 forum. So we got on the. It was nice. It's a very good forum for us. And then others, we did a podcast recently. Esther Singer and myself were the co-chairs of the Alliance, and we did a podcast, a SNIA podcast, which is I'm told people liked it, so it was good. And then we have monthly member meetings. Okay, so so let's go to the next slide. So we have four work groups kind of active. I already talked about data retention. So we published V1. Let's go to the next. So we have Codex Twig subgroup, and we've gone slow here, but we are making progress. We have a codec requirements document. It's kind of stuck in the integration phase where it's really about editing bandwidth, but we have all the raw material, and we hope we'll be able to publish this this year. We were thinking about maybe open source codecs, like having an Alliance codec. It's probably premature for that, but we're still thinking about it. The third subgroup is about interoperable interfaces, and that's looking at basically what goes in and out of the if when you go from stage to stage in the DNA data storage pipeline. We wanted to try and take a system view. Some of our members, like BioMemory and others, are really looking at the whole an appliance and the whole system. So we wanted to try and have a somewhat standard model. So we're again here we have the raw material for the spec, and we presented this at FMS and STC, and we're working on the integration of the spec. And then lastly, in terms of 2024. This is maybe more 2025, but we just started a biosecurity task force. And people are worried if you store data in DNA, are you going to end up creating some nasty organism or a nasty virus or something? So we want to ensure that that won't happen, but we also want to ensure that we don't get overregulated because we're not working with biological sequences, and there are ways that we can ensure that this doesn't happen. So what we're trying to develop is kind of a, a position paper for the regulatory apparatus in governments, so that we can make sure that we get the right amount of regulation, but not too much. Okay, so let's go to next slide. All right. So, this one more thing we did, which was actually ended up being very significant, was a workshop on coding theory at the IEEE Symposium on Information Technology. So this was ended up being a really nice workshop with 50 or so people. It was academically focused, although we brought in speakers from industry, and the idea was to really look at DNA coding theory and topics, and get the coding theory uh, connected to real life stuff from industry. So it was very well received. We had about 50 people at this, and yeah, I was very happy with the outcome. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so 2025 plans. We're we're planning our own conference this year. It's this link will take you to the homepage if you want to get involved and submit an abstract paper or a presentation. It's going to be in Paris in June, uh, and so we're doing that. And we're also going to continue speaking at other forums that we presented at, as warranted, FMS, STC. So we'll do that as needed. We want to finish our ongoing work that I was talked about already, with the codec requirements, interoperable interfaces, and we're also very close to publishing, um, or well, we're close to having a good form of our roadmap, which we've been really late on, frankly, but we're getting there. And then new work. We're going to try and do our position paper on biosecurity. I talked about that. And we have new work in a number of areas. So data retention, we published the spec, but now we're going to work on maybe a calculator of some kind for like how much DNA material you need to start with in order to guarantee that you have enough left at the end of storage and recovery, so that you can get the data back. And we can't really standardize this, but we're thinking maybe a calculator would help and would be a contribution. We're looking at in the codec area, we're thinking about some work on characterizing solid state nanopores, and what their signal to noise, what their channel characteristics are. And we got a lot of discussion of this at the workshop in Athens, and we think this might be a meaty topic for us in the Alliance. Um, and and then anyway, a couple of other things. And one last thing that's not on the slide is out of the workshop in Athens, uh, we were given a special. We got the grant to do a special issue in the IEEE JSAIT journal. And it's going to be information and coding theory aspects of DNA-based data storage. So we hope that will publish sometime in the fall. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So this is, I think, this is my little, last slide, basically. So why get involved? The industry impact is we're shaping a new field, and we're doing this because we think the storage hierarchy needs a new layer for zettabyte scale storage. And there's a lot of new media being looked at, and DNA is a promising one, although it's got a ways to go, but we think there's this is why we're doing it. Um, so why join? It's really cool. It's the field is highly
Testing,
interdisciplinary.
1, 2, 3.
Somebody's,
Thanks, sir.
um, it's a very interdisciplinary scientific discipline, very interesting, and you're part of a new technology. The contacts are listed here, the main two contacts. So please join if you're interested. All you SNIA core members who can now just jump in. And that's the last slide I'll leave as backup. It's just who are our governing board. I left one guy off I left David Turek off the board, so I've got to update that slide. So there's actually one more board member not listed there. He's from catalog. And that's it.